Hey, Mike here with Canadian Musician, and on the line with me today is, well, now one of Canada's biggest stars, Serena Ryder. And you may be getting used to being introduced that way, but first off, Serena, thanks a lot for joining me.
It's my pleasure, and I don't think you could ever really get used to an introduction like that. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's kind of awesome, but I mean, at the same time, I am Canadian. I have to laugh.
No kidding. And well, now that it's been, I think it's been around a year or so since Harmony first came out, if I remember correctly, eh?
Yeah, it's been almost, it was like a year and a half or something now, maybe 2 years almost.
Okay,
I don't even know.
Wow, time flies.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, with that, obviously, like we said, or kind of alluded to in the introduction there, the album blew up. Harmony is your fifth album. Stompa, the lead-off single, has gone 3 times platinum. It's put you on an international level. And as well, the follow-up single, What I Wouldn't Do, also went platinum. And you added to your growing collection of JUNO Awards this year with Artist of the Year and Songwriter of the Year honors. But kind of looking back to when you first, or when you had completed writing and recording Harmony, but it had yet to come out, at that time, considering what your 4 previous albums had done, they were all critically acclaimed, you had a good following, but they certainly didn't do what Harmony has now done. Before the album came out, kind of what were your expectations for it, commercially and critically?
Well, I just loved it. Like, I had so much fun writing the record, and I really just loved it. And myself loved listening to the songs. Like, I loved it. I loved writing it. I had a great time recording it. It was just so much fun, and I was just really proud of it. And my expectations for the future of the record was I couldn't wait to just get out there and play the songs. Mm-hmm. I was so excited about, making the music videos and getting to perform these songs every night. I was just truly, truly excited. And, I had let a bunch of my friends listen to it and other people, and other people were excited too. So I had very positive, excited kind of outlook, and mm-hmm. I just loved it. So I didn't really care how it did critically necessarily, because it doesn't really matter. It's like, if you love it, it's going to be fun. If you don't, then it's not. So.
And I'm sure you've talked all about this many times, but with Harmony, like I said, it was your 5th album, but you really had expanded your sound on the album beyond mm-hmm. your traditional singer-songwriter roots. You really expanded it into, and probably most notably with Stompa, which became a crossover hit with pretty much every kind of audience. Mm-hmm. When you were doing that, essentially, what was the motivation artistically for doing that, for getting away from the more folksy roots?
Yeah, well, that also wasn't like a conscious thing. I just really wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I wanted to have fun. And it's something that I always wanted to do. I've always had so many styles of music inside of me, and I've always written a lot of different styles of songs. And in the past, I had written a lot of different kinds of music, and it was kiboshed by my, A&R guys or my label or whatever, because they told me it wasn't me.
Okay.
Which is really funny, because it's like, I wrote it, but there was no kiboshing, and it was also, a lot of it in the studio had to do with that I was with these brand new people I'd never worked with. Like, I'd never worked with Jared Bettis before, and it was just me and him when we wrote Stompa. And when I first wrote Stompa, I didn't even know if it was going to be for me. I was just like, let's have some fun, and let's write whatever. Let's just write a song, and let's write something we believe in. And for me, I wrote all the lyrics and the melody, and I was able to just be whoever I wanted to be, because he didn't know who I thought I used to be. I don't know, that whole identity idea.
Yeah.
So I was able to play around a lot more freely with all the different parts of who I am.
Interesting. And like you mentioned, with Harmony and with your other albums, you've both written songs on your own, but also with co-writers, and you just mentioned Jared Bettis that you co-wrote or worked with a lot on Harmony. And first, specifically to your work with Jared, on Harmony, kind of what was the breakdown as far as, would you bring the melodies and the lyrics and he would add in the instrumentation? Like, was there a way in which you guys kind of, was there a, I guess, don't want to say a formula, but a way in which you guys kind of divvied up the work?
Well, usually what would happen was I would come in and I'd have a guitar line or something, and then I'd start playing it and then start singing a vocal melody. He'd start building like a track and a beat around that. And then I would, sometimes he'd pop in and he'd think of like another chord change for the chorus to bring, the verses into the chorus, or vice versa. Like with Stompa, I came in and I'd had the guitar line written and the melody, da 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 da, and I just wrote, would play that, and then he started playing the drums, and then while he was working on the drums, I finished writing the song.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then he created like the guitar sound. Like he took my guitar, put it through a bunch of effects, and created that really cool sound. And for the most part, I did all the lyrics and the vocal melody and like the guitar riff.
Mm-hmm. And apparently actually, first off, to kind of just follow up on that, when you're listening back to songs or writing songs that are on your own versus those that you're co-writing, do you notice a difference in them? Do you approach the two differently?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I find right now that co-writing is really, really, it kind of makes a better song for me, because it takes me into another place, kind of takes me outside of myself. I know that's like literally what it does, because there's other people involved, but I don't know, like there's something about other people's music that excites me more than my own. Mm-hmm. I get really excited by, like you listen to somebody else's song, something somebody else wrote, and almost you read it differently, right? It's almost like you can feel it from a place of relating to it other than from being inside of it. And I love that. And so when I'm writing a song, it's like the perfect balance of something that comes from within and inside of me that I feel, to being able to relate to something somebody else is saying so wholly and deeply. Mm-hmm. It's the yin and yang, I love that. I've been loving, like I write ideas all the time by myself, but I have a really short attention span, and I get really bored of just writing by myself, like super bored, or like frustrated, and I just want to bash my head against the wall. And I decided that I didn't really want to feel that way anymore when it came to songwriting. I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember actually around the time of Harmony, we one of our writers had done a mini feature with you. I think it was right around the time it dropped. And in that, and in other interviews I've seen with you since then, you've spoken very openly about your battles with depression between when you had done Is It Okay and
mm-hmm.
Songs for Harmony. And having gone through that, combined with now the massive success that Harmony has had, has those two experiences, has it changed you as an artist, as a writer?
I mean, everything changes you for, in every way that you are. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. And I feel like, every big experience in anybody's life is going to change how they act in the world, unless they haven't learned anything from it.
True.
And then you're going to go through it again. So we'll see how much I've learned from it, and we'll see if I go through anything like that again. But I mean, I feel really grateful for being able to live my life and being able to breathe and have it not be the most painful thing in the world,
No kidding. And well, I'm sure, as we keep kind of going back to, but the last year has been a huge, I guess, upward momentum for you in the stratosphere. And kind of going forward, well, have you started writing yet, or thought about a follow-up to Harmony?
Yeah, I have actually. I started writing maybe about 5 months ago or 6 months ago, and I've written like 4 songs. But I'm really excited, actually. I've got some really cool ones. I've got one that I'm really, really, really excited about, and I started working with a few people, and I'm going to keep on kind of writing with my friends and my friends' friends and discovering, doing a little bit of traveling and writing, and yeah, it's really fun. Like, I don't know exactly where it's going to take me. It's really in the beginning stages. So,
okay.
I mean, I could have a record out by next summer, and I could have a record out in, like, 5 years. Like, I don't know. Because, like, with Harmony, it was, like, 4 years or something in between records. And, you know, I have no idea what the inspiration is where inspiration's going to take me and where I'm going to land. But I'm really excited. Yeah, I have started. So we'll see.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Apparently you'd written somewhere in the realm of like 60 plus songs for Harmony.
Yeah, before I started writing for Harmony.
Will you be revisiting any of those? Will they maybe show up on the follow-up album, or are those now in your...
Anything's possible. I don't know. I really think anything's possible. I mean, the moment you give any sort of yes or no answer and a decision in that kind of a way, it's like it kind of, you know, it limits your possibilities, so it's possible.
Very cool. So, like we said, I know you're on a tight schedule here, and we didn't have much time, but I'll let you go. But I know you're keeping a busy touring schedule over the summer. Do you just know offhand where people can check you out over the next couple of months?
Yeah, I have a bunch of dates that are on my website. I'm doing a bunch of festivals and stuff like that around Canada this summer, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. And once again, if you've been, for fans out there, if you've been living under a rock for the last year and a half and haven't heard Stompa and the rest of Harmony, check it out, because there's a reason it's become what it's become. It's a massive album, an amazing album. It was an honor and a true pleasure to kind of spend a few minutes with you today. Thanks a lot for this, eh?
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.